Shalom, family. We're having homeschool, but we always take an hour break so you can. Before I get into all of that, I pray that you've spent time, read His Word, scripture, or chapter, came over to YouTube and listened to Pastor Kofi. Something to let him know He is first in your life. Okay, let's talk about homeschool real quick. If you've looked at any of my videos, I've said it 100,000 times. I've been through a lot in my life, and during homeschool. Um, because it's homeschool, we do it the way it's supposed to be done. We talk about everything, my grandson and I. I have this thing that I'm trying to help him with. I'm trying to help him realize that you have to have your emotions under control. I know I read it in one of the videos where it was talking about emotionally, um, oh gosh, what was it? Hold on, I write down everything. Um, in our Women in Red meeting, or I keep saying meeting, in our Women in Red celebration, um, some of the ministers had a subject and they talked about certain things, and one was emotionally regulations as a wife. Emotionally regulation. My grandson has a bad temper. My daughter does as well. So does my son, but he's got a little more control over it. He's more sneakier than any of us. Me, I'm gonna let you know I'm coming, and I'm coming like a bull. Um, so I'm listening, and watching and paying attention. And my grandson has a temper issue. I had one growing up, and I had one as an adult. I'm so thankful that I can control it a lot better than I used to. Um, he's 10 years old. He's broke his phone because he was mad. He's broke his laptop because he was mad. When we're in homeschool and if it's something he's not grasping or something he's having a hard time with, instead of him just saying, I need help, he gets mad. He just flies off the handle over simple things. And I just always kept telling him, you can't do this, because if you do, bad things happen when you allow your emotions to be in control. So I have stories. I have stories. I told him of a story of how violent I used to be because I was mad. I didn't have the right to do the things I did, and I don't know how the Most High allowed me to not go to prison or somebody take me out because of what I've done. I can remember one of my boyfriends. I don't remember what it was, but he made me so mad, or I chose, of course, to be so mad that I broke his arm with a crutch. I beat him with a crutch, his crutch. And then I felt bad. So then I drove him to the hospital. And then when I got him to the hospital, I threatened to break the other arm if, and this is for educational purposes only, I threatened to break his other arm if he told him I broke this arm, because I'm nice enough to bring you to the hospital. That was my thought process. I want to catch it before it becomes something else. When you are a child and you don't have your emotions, if you don't have the regulations over your emotions as a child, when you become an adult doing all of this kind of stuff, oh, that's gonna really. I mean, it can bring it as a child. Like I said, his phone is broke and his laptop is broke right now. But as an adult, with all that melanin in his skin, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I'm telling him about the story of how I beat this man with a crutch, but I was like that with everybody, not just him. Whatever was there, whatever my first mind said do, that's what I did. And I would do it. Then when I go home at night, I cry because I didn't really want to break his arm, but I was just so mad. That was my excuse. Everybody has emotions. So does that give everybody the right to be going around busting people upside the head because they were mad? No. Learn how to regulate your emotions. And he was just he had an accident on himself because he was laughing so much. And I'm looking at him like, I am so serious. Like, this is not funny to me. I'm a, I'm not embarrassed about who I used to be. I just am, because I'm thankful that I'm healed from that and I can explain it and tell it. I know he's 10, so it's funny to him, but it's not funny. I should have went to jail. I broke his arm. Like, I literally broke his arm and then threatened to break the other one if he told on me. And I was serious. And he was such a nice guy. And then I found out later on that he became abusive to his girlfriends. And I'm like, that's because of me. That was my fault. And I told my grandson, every action gets a reaction. So because of what I did to him and he chose to take it ever again, and he started whooping up on his girlfriends. At least three that I can remember. Oh, that just I was very violent. Very. I felt like I needed to protect myself, and I would always swing first because I wanted to make sure I knocked you out. Because trust me, that first one, I'm trying to knock you clean out or take you out. Either one. Didn't matter. Like I said, I know he's only 10, so it's funny, but these stories are going to stick with him because they got to. I have got to figure it out. I wished I had some kingdom men around to help show my grandson how to do this thing because I don't know how. I'm gonna pray on it though. The Most High is gonna give me what I need until till we can get something better for him because I don't want him to be that way. Mm. Well, I'm gonna go with a snack or something. Emotional regulation, how important that is. Mm, 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 mm. Well, I just had to leave that message with somebody. Shalom, family. Chat with you later.